everybody. So, welcome back to the panel. We'll be talking about episode 11. This is
Woo.
the episode to the finale, and we can already see the issues with everybody's relationship. So, welcome back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and obviously drop a comment on how you feel about what happened in the episode. So, joining me
Woo.
today, we have Raylene and Gigi Nan. Braylene, like
Hey
you're ready to
everybody.
you want to say
Listen, we got a lot to get to. There were words being used. You, I'm not saying that a mirror is a reflection, but the words of Candace Dillard Bassett from the Real Housewives of Potomac. I am projecting that you are the insecurity. And that happened in this one quite a lot. So we got a lot to get to. I'm glad to be here. Ooh, Lord.
yeah,
A
so
lot to
Yeah,
let's
and
get
I
to.
start.
still have, and I have the question. Uja, do you still feel same way about Cameron and Zadia?
And you guys
We'll get
just
into that, but
allow
that is the question that I have.
me
I can't. I can't.
you guys
Ooh.
allow me do it, man. So
It's all
but
in
let's
love. It really is.
but now
Oh,
but now
Lord.
let's get into this whole thing quickly.
Okay.
but now
Uh
but now let's get into so Braylings.
huh.
Stop.
I haven't done anything. We just got started.
All right. So I think we should use this format here. So the ladies had a meeting with Tamika. Obviously, this is like an episode towards the ending. So they're trying to like rush everybody, whatever feelings you have, you need to know what you're doing. If I'm using the filming estimate, this should be about 4 to 5 weeks of filming. So at this point, you're telling me that these ladies need to make their choice, even if they are not so sure about what they are doing. That's why I can't be on reality TV because this fast-paced dating is just not for me at all. So while meeting Tamika, Zaga brings up the whole fight with Charisse, saying that Charisse has been a bully, that the only reason why they've not gone like full blown fighting is because she has been trying so hard to keep the peace in the show. Now, why I found this part to be quite hard to judge was the fact that they don't really show us much of the fights, and the fights they show us is quite, it should not be what should cause so much enmity between two women. So I really cannot gauge who is right, who is wrong, because from both sides, all the fights that we've seen, okay, the first two fights, obviously Sharice was being very antagonistic, but the last one, Zadia went to look for the problem and she found it. So judging from those two fights is like 2 to 1. So I really can't judge who is bad, who is good, because of the way they are telling the story of this Zadia Sharice issue.
I mean, I will agree with that, but also too, like once again, like y'all are on a paid damn vacation in New Orleans, Louisiana. Let bon ton roulette, let the good times roll, baby. Y'all should be eating powdered beignets, eating gumbo, putting caramel sauce down your throat over your body. Y'all should be doing other shit. Like, I mean, honestly, the whole thing, and I will say this, Zadia can be shifty at times, but we also got to recognize too that Sharice, how shall I use a word? Combative. Let's just say that word. That anytime that Sharice and Zadia have talked, there has always been a conflict of interest in terms of making peace. And most of the time, what Sharice will do is take one thing of an inch and make that a mile of her argument when really doesn't have to be that. And I think at some point in time, you do just get fed up to be fed up. Now, I don't know if I mean, hey, listen, I don't know if Jessica provided the ladies some Combath coffee and Combath coffee creamer, and Sharice was drinking that morning or what, but it's out of hand at this point. Like, it's the last damn episode. Like, really, really. But go ahead, Gigi. Go ahead.
I just think that what it is we're not seeing the whole picture. I don't like it when it's an argument and you don't know the context, but yet we have to pick and choose on who was right, what happened. From what we have seen, yes, Sharice has definitely come off and has given, aggression. She's definitely caused issues for no reason from what we have seen. So if we go off that and then we go off what Renisha agreeing with her and saying, basically that Sharice has been this way, if we go off that, then we'll say, okay, well, Zadia is right. Now, did Zadia say, I'm not going to say Zadia said something wrong when she said, that she kissed her friend. But I can understand how that would make her feel because there was no reason to really bring that up. So then when Sharice got mad and said what she said, maybe it just went too far. I don't know. But editing, we're not seeing the whole picture. So we're not getting the whole story. So it is very, very hard to even, you know what I'm saying, know what really happened. Maybe we don't even know if Sharice saying this stuff had anything to do with what we seen on the video. You know what I'm saying, during the episode. So it's like, what really happened? So I don't know. I do feel
I
like
will.
Sharice is a negative person. Y'all know that I do not ride for her. I do not like Sharice like that. But like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I could see Sharice doing and saying some foul shit and then hiding in her room. Like I could see her being that type of person though.
No, I totally agree. And Q, welcome in, brother. I'm glad to have you here. And you know
All
what?
right, thank
I
you.
will. And
Glad to
I
see what's
will.
going on.
Absolutely, good to hear your voice, brother. Love you as always. And Gigi, I will agree with you on that, because if we remember from last season, before we got on, I said the words of Candace Diller Bassett. I am projecting that you are the insecurity, rather. That last season, when it came to an argument, it seemed to be somebody held on to something for a little too long. And also, too, if we remember the beautiful Aries, hopefully she is doing well. And you know what? Honestly, too, I feel like if they do well, maybe they shouldn't do Ray Love Make a Move, but if they do a Ray to Love remix resort, I would love to see Aries again. But the reason why I bring up Aries and Chris, brother Chris, is because remember that conversation with hashtag combat Jessica, and how we didn't really see everything in editing, to your point, Gigi. So Q, welcome in. We're on Sharice and Zadia. This conversation that's been a combative situation since the beginning.
What's going on, my Ready to Love fam? I
Hey now, hey now.
what's going on? My personal thought on it, on both of those two, it's crazy that Ready to Love did that or put those two on the show, because when I sit back and think, when Zadia was, she had the same image. She got into it with a few people, and just the way she carried herself. Feel like sometimes she thinks she's better than people. Um, and it's just how she acts. Sharice attacked the how she carried herself. You know what I'm saying? By her, because the conversation that her and the girl had um, on the couch. First of all, they shouldn't have been on the couch together anyway. I don't know why that happened. And when Sharice felt attacked, her character felt attacked. Well, I understood why she felt that way, but old girl knew what she was doing. I felt personally, so I really felt like this is a girl name with the blue earrings. I forget her name.
Zadia.
Zadia.
Knew what she was doing when she was attacking Sharice the way she did. I know Zadia did that. She always throws a rock and hide a hand. She always do that. Sharice, on the other hand, I really don't never see her starting anything. She really doesn't start anything. She really just um she really thinks she's top tier, but she don't really never start anything. That's just my take.
But on that, you don't need to start anything for like there are people who always there are some people who never look like they are starting anything because as much as I felt like Zadia was looking for problems last week in the episode, that could have been something that you could have laughed off if it was actually an innocent kiss. I wish you were here in the panel last week because I said the only reason why she got that offended or defensive was because one, it actually really happened. Two, she did not want her credibility to be called into people to be like, oh, why is she kissing somebody on the show if you're starting to look for love? That I think that's the only reason why she actually got offended because it was so obvious that it was not the offense of, oh, she's trying to pour dirt on my name. It was the offense of, oh, I do not want anybody to attach me to this kind of this. But before we go on,
Well, wait a minute,
that
Salon.
was
Let me
just, I
just
want to
add.
read. I want to first read someone's comment on Instagram.
Sure.
You know, Instagram runs quite quickly. So,
Yes.
Black Barbie Soul Edition said, "Well, it's a competition. This was get back from Zadia for how they started with the lockout situation. You know, I never actually really thought about it that way." R Terry 4606 said, I don't like the way it ended last night. Actually, I felt like a lot of scenes could have been cut the same way last week was almost like they were trying to fill in the gap. That was how I felt too about this episode.
Well, you know what? Let me just ask this question because I think we can determine Sharice's credibility. What shoes was Sharice wearing when she was sitting on the couch? Did they
Oh,
have a
come
red
on.
bottom on it? No, I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question, Solana. That's all I'm
Oh my
asking.
gosh. Look,
No, skip,
this is
skip.
the thing. Is you can't sit there. I don't like it when people start an argument because, just like you said, Ucha, there's people that will start an argument, but either act like they're not starting the argument, or maybe they truly feel like they're not. I don't know what it is, but there are people who will truly start mess and then get upset when you either ask a question in confusion or start to respond to what how they've come at you. You know what I'm saying? Because energy matches energy. You know,
Correct.
and it's like if you're going to come at me like this, then you know what I'm saying. I'm going to come at you. But if you're really feeling like what you did was an innocent kiss, it was innocent. Why would you get so mad about it to where it spills over and lingers on for time? I
Yep.
mean, hey, you kissed your friend. So what? If that's your friend, so what? But
Yeah.
don't sit there and start to attack someone else because you can't stand on what you did, or you in your heart either feel like you know it was wrong, or I don't know what the case is, but
But Sharice,
it seems like there's some manipulation somewhere, but still don't don't act like, you know, oh, I said this because she said I kissed him. Oh well. You act like she called your mama Satan.
Right.
but Sharice thing
It's
is,
just, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just too much energy for what we seen. Like, it's just too much. They're giving too much energy to it. So it's like, what else really happened? Honestly, what happened? For real,
Yeah.
for real.
I feel like Sharice's biggest thing is how it makes her look. She's very concerned about her
Mm,
appearance and
the
how
image. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
her image and how she's perceived. So anything that go against that, she feels attacked. You know what I'm saying? So she sit here and say, because I remember on another episode previously, when she was on the show the first time, she got into it with a guy, and the guy really didn't understand Sharice. He called Sharice bougie, he called her this, and he called her that, and she took really offense to it. So anything that goes against how she feels about herself or how she looks, she's gonna feel attacked because that's what she finds her value at, is in her beauty and I guess her character. So I really don't feel like in this instance here that Sharice was wrong in the way she felt because it's kind of hard to say what makes somebody else upset is different from what makes somebody else upset, even though we might don't understand it. But hey, she felt upset and attacked. So
No,
All
for sure.
right. So
And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I
You
wanted to
probably gonna
say
read
what
Instagram.
yeah, I wanted to say what you want to say because I want to read the Instagram and move from this topic. Braylon, can you
Well,
hear me?
I feel like we can
Oh,
go. I mean, if
oh,
there's nothing
oh,
left, let's just go ahead and.
oh! I was gonna read a. I didn't know if you were gonna read a comment from Instagram. Dondi made a comment saying Zadia in an interview said that Sharice was taunting her about Cameron constantly, so she decided to ask her about why she was kissing LJ like that.
Oh, that comment actually like it's almost the same with someone that commented on Instagram. So Black Barbie Soul Edition said Zara does not want to look like she slept with the good doctor and it isn't working. Charisse is guilty speaking. And C. Inzinga said, Transformer versus dishonest bully. Well, both of them were just hiding their dirty laundry, so that's why it just came off as both of them were hiding. They were really hiding. But let's
Yeah.
move on.
And my
So
bad for
now,
that confusion. I thought you were gonna read some Instagram comments. My bad for that
oh,
confusion,
okay.
y'all.
So now we're going to go couple or lady by lady so that we can move fluently through the
Are you sh-
episode.
are you
So
sure
we're
you don't
going
want to save this one for the end? Cause
nah,
okay.
let's do this because I know you guys spend 100 hours speaking on this. So I put Zadia followed by Ashley, then Charisse and Venetia last because those ones we can round them up in like 20 minutes. They don't really have
Understood.
much to speak on. So Zadia, as usual, the guys will come to the villa and the girls will say if they are staying with them or not. I felt like it was quite useless to ask that question in this episode because I'm not about to be single staying in the villa with girls who have their own men. That was just a dumb ass thing to ask them to do because obviously all the ladies are going to settle even if they are in an uncomfortable situation with their men. So she picked Cameron again, regardless of all the issues that they've had. And she was like, "Oh, I'm understanding, even though I know that I have done this several times, but I'm understanding about your plight, blah blah blah." So they go on a date, and all is going well. And she asks him, "Oh, what do you see about us? What do you think we can do in the future?" Basically, like the normal questions you ask, what are your plans about us? And it's like, oh, he starts bringing up his business again. How is busy? How is this? If she goes back, they need to have some sort of arrangement. And she's like, oh, what kind of arrangement? It's like, oh, maybe from friendship or something like that. And she's like, what? At that point, even I was barely following the conversation because it was like he was talking round and round and round and round for me. And I really wanted him to just say the truth because you can't tell me you entered this, you got into a serious relationship, and then now you're like, oh, it's too much for me.
uh
What do you guys think?
you
Q,
know
go ahead, man.
ah, ah ooh um all that I gotta say is if somebody show you who they are, you gotta believe them. And she done showed him time and time and time again. When she said this, I mean, you know one thing, I was about to say last week, if I was about when I came on the show last week that I missed, I apologize for missing it. My son had another football game. But
All good, brother.
one thing I'm talking, I had my apology ready because I was like, you know what? You are totally right. Uncha, you was totally right. Because at the beginning of the show, it really seemed like Cam, you know what I'm saying, was feeling her. You know what I'm saying? And what he was going through and everything he said, it seemed like it was adding up. But when she made this one statement toward the end of the show, the narrative changed. The narrative totally changed. But when she made this one statement, she said, "I don't know if you really like me." I said, "What?" It threw me for a loop. For her to question if he liked her, and he kept picking her every week. For you to question somebody if they really like you, and you keep picking them every week, they don't like you. And I can't blame Cam now. I do not blame Cam at all. I blame Zadia. You know what I'm saying? If Zadia doesn't get the outcome that she wants, I blame Zadia. You know what I'm saying? Because Zadia had the opportunity plenty of time to move in other fitting directions, and she didn't. So to me, Cam skate free because Cam did what he was supposed to do. You know, he stayed on the show, however long he was gonna stay on the show. Now after what happened after that is whatever. I don't blame Cam. I blame Zadia.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, boss, because I'm just like it's like the SpongeBob meme of that villain that said, "Is this your wallet?" No. But is this your ID card? Yes. So this is your wallet? No. It's like, you dumb this is your damn wallet. And that's what I feel like with Zaria. It's like, do you like me? Well, I think, in the words of Maya Angelou, you know why the caged bird sings, and you should be a uncaged bird and hashtag fly away and be free. But you still like me though. I'm trying to let you know that I'm depositing or withdrawing rather my social capital out of your mental bank account. But you still like me though. Okay, how can I put this? You know how you can like turn on and turn off a TV? I want to turn the TV off. But you still like me though. Like, just move on, Zadia. Damn.
So I think this, although I still stand on my point that he likes her, I will just say, as I've always said, don't ever chase somebody.
You're right. You
It's just proof that when you chase somebody and you like the person more than the person likes you, this
Mhm.
is always what happens. Because you can see the difference in the dynamics between Habari and Venetia. As much as people feel like he's lost and blah blah blah, he likes her more than she likes him.
Mhm.
So she can discard him whenever she wants. She
Mhm.
has made too many deals, too many, like, she, mm-mm. As much as he likes you, make sure people like, I'm a woman, they always say make sure your man likes you more than you like them, so that this scenario doesn't happen to you. Because now you're on national TV, you are going towards the ending of a show, and now it's telling you friendship or something. What's this something? Like, be frank with me. What's this something exactly that can happen between the both of us? If it's not between friendship and a relationship, the middle is friends with benefits. So what exactly are you referring to? You just need to be honest with me. I mean, we're both adults here. Be frank. What exactly do you want? Stop talking around in circles with me. That was exactly what he was doing here. He doesn't want to end the, I will call their relationship now a situationship. He doesn't want to end it, but he doesn't want to move forward. So now he's using a viable, comfortable excuse, which is, oh, I am working, oh, I am busy, oh, I have investments, oh, I have this, oh, I have that. So that these are excuses that you know that subconsciously the other person cannot say, oh, well, what about me? Oh, well, what about this? Wants to just say, oh, I have to work, oh, I have to do this, I plan to be a millionaire, I plan to be a this, I have so many invest, blah, blah, blah. So prior to meeting me, all those multiple situationships you had, that means you definitely had time for you to have situationships. So why don't you have time for a relationship? Because I actually think situationship actually takes more time than relationships. I don't know, it's just me. I feel like you have to put in too much energy into situationships. Relationships just flow smoothly. So it was very disappointing to see that despite all this, when they got to the ending of the show, she was still thinking about it. Let him chase you if he really wants to pick you, because I think you've done so much of the chasing now that it's almost like you are desperate.
No, agreed. And let me ask this
Okay,
because I don't
so
know.
of
Yes,
course,
go
hold
ahead.
up. Can I just say something? Because I just came in,
Yeah,
because I
go ahead.
dropped out. Sorry.
Oh, let's
Um,
go.
so we see how Cameron has been, and majority of us have called it out and let it be known that Cameron is not feeling Zadia like that. And I asked a question before we started. Have you changed your opinion on Cameron? Now, from what I just to, it sounds like you are starting Cameron for what he is, because why is that every time the conversation comes up, or even
I've
when
not
the
changed
conversation
my
is directly
opinion.
even talking about,
I've not
um,
changed my opinion. My opinion still stands.
we,
He was honest.
I totally get where
yes,
Uncha
he's
coming.
honest. He doesn't exaggerate.
Yeah, I feel what Uncha was saying the whole time
That's
was
the
that
honesty.
can't.
He is.
Yeah. Hello.
No,
So you
I'm
can
still
go
here
on.
with
You
you.
can go on. We're waiting for you
Yeah,
to
go
speak.
ahead, Q. What was you saying?
Oh, I apologize. Uncha was saying the whole time. I understand exactly where she's coming from. She was sitting here saying that Cameron is not lying about what he has going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like she was saying that her feeling he's feeling Zodi any kind of way. He's not feeling Zodi. I feel like what she was saying was Cameron can
No,
be
we
busy.
have all agreed that he's been honest. It's the honesty
Yeah.
that has been liked so much, actually. Like
Yeah.
that's been his whole thing as well. At least he's telling her the truth. At least he's telling her now, okay, but he's also telling her honestly that he doesn't want to be with her. And there was a time where it was like, well, maybe he is still feeling her. I've never thought that he really was. And I do feel that it's a little bit too late for her to try to get into anything else. So she's trying to stick to Cameron. Like right now, she's grasping, and she is ending up in a situation shit. And we've talked about it. Even if she did mess with him, so what? But what is happening now is the fact of I feel like he's it's now close to the end, and now he's trying to push her away even further. Like the
Let me.
communication they
Mhm.
might still have, but I'm not seeing it as he's saying that, hey, I'm willing and really wanting to put my
Right.
all into building a relationship right now,
Hmm.
maybe down the road.
Facts. And let
And
me
for
and let
some
me
reason I'm
ask.
not thinking Zadi is getting that.
Right. No, absolutely. Let me ask this. I don't know if we've talked about this, but could Cameron be using his work as a stronghold, a crutch, or a mental security blanket to hide his feelings? Or are we all at the point now where it's like, okay, it is what it is? Like he's telling her like, I don't really want you.
I
I've
can't.
told
That's
you.
possible.
I really can't see that happening. The only reason because he came on the show being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You don't come to the plate showing everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for this. I'm here for that. I'm here for this. Just to sit here and say, I'm not feeling you. I got work. You know what I'm saying? This right here, I'm going to hide behind this right here and not show
Right.
my feelings when you've been vulnerable the whole time. I just don't see that happening.
Okay.
But you guys look at it another way. He said he has been in situationships. So he's actually moving the way he has always been. He doesn't
Correct.
know how to be in a relationship.
Correct.
So, as much as we are judging him by what we are seeing, he's correct in his assessment of himself. He doesn't know how to be in relationships, and he's actually used to being in situationships because that's exactly what he wants he
Convince you.
and Sadia to be. So
Hmm.
it's like vicious cycle. He needs to break it up himself
Yep.
because as much as I think for him to, whether they've had sex or not, whatever thing they've had, for him to still hang on, I'm telling you, like, I don't think anyone would find a girl badgering him for relationship and still be staying for sex. Like, I would want to cut you off totally. He wants to still be there, but I do not think he has the mentality for relationships. But I'm just going to read some comments to before we move on to Ashley. Um, Sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Marquis dot that truth said an excuse to avoid just saying he doesn't want her, even though he's told her he doesn't want a serious relationship and she's not getting it. And that's what I'm saying. He wants to go back to the situationship stuff. Um, mm, 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 mm. The black girl aesthetic said his whole dress, hair, and uncomfortable conversation would have had me looking the other way. Black
Mm.
Barbie Soul Edition said, I think he is busy, but he lost attraction and drive for Zadia. She is a short teen. There's no need to chase her apparently. Just Food and Me said, I don't think he's upfront and honest. It's something he's not telling her. I don't think he said he did not want her. Excuses, excuses. When someone really wants someone, they make sacrifice. Yes. When someone really wants someone, they make sacrifice.
Exactly. We've been saying that
But,
you will make time for
but
the things and the
he
people that you
never
want.
said not want her. And that's one thing I really want to hinge on. He never said, oh, I do not want you, Zadia. The problem is he doesn't know how to even enter relationships. He would rather keep her in a situationship where he's comfortable. He doesn't need to mess up his life. He doesn't need to do anything. Meanwhile, Zadia, who was supposed to take her life and put it in order and be like, nah, this man is a whole red flag for me. As much as you're being honest, your honesty is not really doing good for me. I need to walk away. She kept staying. She has the power in the relationship. She kept staying, and this is the end result. So do not blame anybody but the woman who made the decision. And I think they are still friends outside the show, so we'll probably get the results of whatever they are right now. But yeah, let's move on
Yeah.
to
I mean, but
Ashley.
yeah, maybe it is the fact that Zadia wants more than what Cameron wants, but I still feel like instead of him, I mean, he's saying everything to her and letting her know that he doesn't have the time, but he's still also throwing it back to her and allowing her to continue putting her feelings into it. And as a woman, women, sometimes we do get sprung. So to say there's not women that, will allow a man to do this and just stay for the pain, oh, they do it every 7 seconds. Like every seven
I
seconds,
mean,
a woman has stayed with a man because the pain was good. Okay. So,
I think
like,
the
it
fact
happens
Yeah,
all the time.
London.
I think the fact that the dog was more taken care of than Zadia should say everything.
Yeah.
Q, did you
So,
want to say something?
no, but I just feel like, just go ahead. I mean, I
Let me.
don't,
The
I
funny
just don't
thing
see
Let's
about
it.
just
the funny thing about it is Cam showed us who he was in our face during their last date. What
Yeah.
Cam's business is, Cam's a photographer. He has a media company or whatever he say he has. And for his last date, you know what he does? He goes for exposure to expose his business. Take
Mm.
Zadia and go take pictures of Zadia for their last date.
Oh. Well done observation, my brother. And that's the thing too. It's like it's interesting that you have a passion for shooting things with the camera, but yet you can't show emotions with the person in front of you. I
Hey,
can't.
boy,
Hey,
hey, hey.
Listen.
let's just move on. I think we'll finally
Oh,
find out.
come on.
Mm,
Let's move on to Ashley
that was a
and
word there.
Thank you, sir.
Donovan. So I don't know. I think this situation totally explains my point of them of the productions asking the ladies to choose why it made no sense because who else was there for her to choose? As much as she felt angry and she kept saying, I do not take this, I did not take this, I did not take this. Because if you look at her confessionals and what she was acting real time, it's like it's not really making sense. You cannot say, I did not take disrespect, and then you are taking disrespect. You cannot say, I did not take a man who doesn't stand for me, and then you are taking the man back. It's like, okay, what? It's not making sense. That was because she had no option than to pick him because Ashley wants to be picked so badly. So she's willing to overlook both her problems, the problems she has with him, and just stick with him. Ashley's case was so clear to me from the first episode. I already told you guys she wanted a knight in shining armor, someone who would defend her, protect her feelings, treat her like a baby. You don't fall, I breastfeed you, I did this, I did that. She just wants to be taken care of like a very big treasure. So it's like, I don't think she should have come to this show. One, I don't think she should have picked Donald from the earlier part of the episode. I think she could have done like Lee and walked away. That would have been a very honorable thing to do to herself than staying for the date because you could easily see the disconnect during the date. It was a nice date, but that date would have been nice among people who were like minded. You would notice he kept making very tiny statements that showed that he was disconnected totally. He was not calm. He was not really ready for the bullshit or the shouting. Normally, if my friend would go for all this kind of thing and they're screaming, I would be laughing. But he kept commenting on her nerves, kept commenting on the fact that he thought she was going to enjoy it. And I'm like, she's enjoying it. That's why she's screaming and being all nervous. Like, it's part of the whole thing. They do not fit. It's like water and oil. They do not fit at all. I just don't understand why the show did not step in early on because this is just a big disaster waiting to happen.
No, I definitely will agree with you there. I think the reason why production didn't step in is because
Anxiety.
this is reality. Say that again, Gigi. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying this scene right here, just like, well, the scene where she was sitting there, and going back and forth between, I don't take disrespect and you got to be there for me. And if I don't feel secure and protected and all the stuff that was being said, it's like you turned around and you took him back. You kept him. Okay. We all have been there where when we're dating someone, because you are dating, but when you're dating someone, you take them back. Sometimes a person makes mistakes and you want to see the best in a person, so you give them chances. But the chances that she has given Donald and continues to give him, and then how she was in her confessional, I'm going to tell you, this shit gave me high anxiety. I was highly pissed and I was just irritated, didn't really want to watch the rest of it, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it because we have a panel to do. But this right here, it would just made me feel like I hate to say this, damn it, Ashley. She's giving me that pick me vibe. Like she definitely like, and listen, that's what makes it hard because we all want to be loved and chosen, whatever the case is. Some of us don't go to the same extent to, get it, but we all, no one wants to be lonely, but there's a way to go about it. And you shouldn't have to sacrifice yourself just for someone else to feel comfortable or just for someone else to want to be with you or be around you. When you start seeing red flags, it's time to go. After so many chances, you have to run out of that shit because you can't pour into you can't pour an empty cup into another cup.
Roger that.
Right.
That's a word.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, what this reminded me of was if you guys watch the Property Brothers on HGTV, they'll have all these different things on their wish list. And then you know what ends up happening? The Property Brothers takes the couple to their dream home, then says, "Oh, you liked all this? Here's the price tag." Oh, well, damn. I didn't realize my wish list had a price. And I also didn't realize I had to have the money in the account to pay for it. So then that's when the Property Brothers do their magic of finding what works for you. But if you keep rejecting what the Property Brothers are trying to give you, then guess what? You stuck where you at. Honestly, and that's how I feel about this situation with Ashley. And, you know, listen, the date, which we will talk about, and I can't wait for a very funny line to come up. Um, it just seemed to me at this point, you know, till the end of the road. Like that's where we are. This is the final episode. And so to complete the season, y'all just did this just that way. Both of y'all can look like, hey, look, we at least made it. You know what I mean? And listen, I mean, all is fair in love and war, but also, do you have to participate in the war if you ain't winning? Really? Hey.
I gotta say one thing, right? I gotta say one thing. If the shoe was on the other foot, would these men pick these women?
Mm.
Mm,
Mm. Good
No,
question. Good question.
yeah, no. Yeah, it
and
would
that's
definitely be different.
and that's
Hey,
sad.
there's
You
an
know what I'm
echo
saying?
somewhere.
Hold on, I apologize. And that's very sad. You know what I'm saying? And that's very, very sad. The only reason why I say that's sad is because it make the women look desperate. You know what I'm saying? I think Maurice might pick Sharice. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that. I feel like Maurice might pick Sharice. And the guy Vernicia's dating might pick him. That's a possibility. But the other two, I don't see um, the guy Ashley's dating picking her to put up with that. You know what I'm saying? Because Ashley is a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's always came with that. Like she knows she's a lot. She's looking for somebody who's gonna be patient enough to handle that. Donald's not gonna do that. Donald's not gonna do that because instead of talking her through her problems, he go back and tell another female. How you go back and tell another? And then the worst thing about it was the other female confronted her about what he told her. That's the
Yep.
worst thing you can do to
Exactly,
go
that part.
confide in another female, and then the other female come tell the girl that you're supposed to be dating about her. The first off, that was disrespectful. Donald should have never done that. You know what I'm saying? It really showed Donald immaturity. It really did. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you man, one thing I've learned about is you can be a woman's safe space as to the fact of being there physically for her, as to the fact of nobody's going to harm her. Like you can be, Samson to her. Like I know I go anywhere, I'm going to be safe. But another safe space is can she confide in you, and can you keep her in a good space mentally, and can you bring her back down? Donald does not want to do that for Ashley. He doesn't want to. Donald just want to be there, and it's a blow for her to keep showing herself emotionally to him, and he's not there taking that, you know what I'm saying, and understanding that and processing it to bring peace in the relationship. Only thing he want to do is point the finger back at Ashley. and that's not what men do.
No, you're absolutely right, Q, and very well articulated as you often do. I mean, at this point, I'm waiting for Dom to say that him and his best friend are together in the 2 part, 3 part, however many parts reunion we gonna have. And Donald, just from one brother to another, break her walls, don't break down her mind.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
just saying,
hey,
just.
hey, hey, hey. Now we talking. Now we
Li- listen,
Wow.
listen. And in the words of Maurice, well, y'all, you see, you know, I have enjoyed being here on this panel so much, and you know, you see that I have more word articulation. It's sad that came to hashtag the end of the road. But I have to say that and I know we're not talking about my date, but since my name was brought up, I just felt hello Q, hello Solana, and hello Gigi, and hello Chad, and Braylon, the legend that he is. When me and Sharice was on our date, I really felt her pain because sacrifice is not just a word, it is a action. And I truly felt that even though I have my career, my daughter is grown, and you don't get a second chance to live one life. So if it came down to it, I will move to Miami for her, because with law you can work anywhere. So I really do love her. I'm sorry that came to the end of the road for you guys to see me speak more. But one thing to know, two things for sure: I still do not eat Popeyes. I
Mm,
still like my
mm,
steak medium rare, and
mm.
I'm going to be that Bougetto brother. But I have more soul, and I hope y'all
Mhm.
saw that.
Very, very, very,
Yeah.
very. Thank you,
If
thank you for your
Maurice starts
cameo.
with you, you are done. But yeah,
Oh Lord.
I do not agree. And before I go to the Instagram comments, I definitely do not agree. Donadi said, I don't see why those men wouldn't pick the women. Ashley and Zadia are beautiful women. I don't think the women, especially Ashley, would have behaved the same way with the men having the power. Why would Ashley have the power to pick when he has the power to pick? That already is leading your relationship to doom. I don't like once you meet somebody, you need to meet the authentic self of the person because okay, let's say they pretend and then they start showing their real self once they get into the relationship. At the ending of the day, the men would still dump them. So it's like, why lose? It doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have picked them either ways because they would have found out the real truth outside. So on Instagram, that you said, say it again because that friend wants him. Like I really argued. They were really coming for me in the comments last week because I was arguing in favor of Ashley for the first time. Um, so Edition said maybe Donald and Ashley are both insecure, or there is a prize in the end. I really do not know about that. I really do not know. Absolutely, I said is he serious? And he told the friend, come on now. I would have got rid of him right there. They are desperate. This show will not come back. They need to get women who are really ready to use the process and not women who are willing to settle. Because if we actually got women changing men like their panties, we would not have this situation at all.
No, I definitely agree. I think what they ought to do is do what Bachelor in Paradise does, and they did this with Ready to Love Last Resort. So I don't want to hear ish that can't be done. Just find a very nice all-inclusive resort where the meals are included and all that type of stuff, yada 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 yada. And you can bring in what, 6 people from Ready to Love Pass for the men, 6 people from Ready to Love Pass with women, and then every week new people from past seasons. come through that are actually ready to love, because I feel like that would be a more dynamic show, because at least it's with people that you already know. And not to mention too, it what's more interesting than what's more interesting than seeing people having a second chance. I think they were trying to do a second chance show, and I think this was just maybe a test experiment to see what can be. But I feel like that's the format that they probably should try.
Yeah. So let's move on. I
Gigi,
will.
you good after Maurice speaking? You good?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm good. Sharice Dash tried to jump up on my shit and knock me out, but I'm cool. I no. No,
let's move on to Maurice and Charisse.
Uh,
So she picked him again, even though she has her reservations, but wherever her reservations is not bigger than the money he has in his account. So they had a date. I feel like they've been having so many picnic dates. Maybe that's what she really likes. And it's actually nice that he puts in effort to have the whole picnic dates and all those kind of things. So she starts crying that she misses her dog, her mom. To be honest, I nearly laughed in this scene, maybe because I lack empathy or something, but it was really funny to me. Because it's like, oh,
the
we
way he
watch.
was riding that horse was funny to me.
hey, hey, I was kind of surprised. Like I was I know he always wear these big old Steve Harvey suits all the time, but when he actually, you know what I'm saying, when he actually got put some fitted clothes on, I said, "But in decent shape, it looked like it." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that kind of
And,
stuff.
and,
Right, he
and,
actually looked okay.
and
Yeah.
I'm and I mean, we all know Sharice loves to ride. It's a hobby for her.
Mm-hmm.
Sharice was kind of worried about, Maurice being on the horse, because he really couldn't have control of the reins. You understand? So there is that as well. So okay, I
Hey,
can't,
man.
I can't. I'm not doing this with y'all today. I'm not doing this with
Right.
y'all.
Hey, ain't nothing
You
wrong
on
with it.
one today, Bray. Okay.
Nah, ain't nothing wrong with it sometimes.
Listen, hashtag ride in, jump
Ain't
on.
nothing wrong with it.
Hmm. But on
Listen,
the
this date right here, I was wondering the same thing. They have a lot of picnic dates. What else is there? Is there any other originality? Like, it's cute that you up the picnic from a sheet to a comforter, but listen, we're still
Stop.
we're still having a picnic. I'm just, I'm just saying, we're still having a picnic. Like, is there anything else that we can do? Is there anything else that shows who you are? Like, okay, like if that's it, then that's it. That's why I feel like them two together, like I feel like they match.
they
Like
do.
I can see them two being together.
Hmm.
Cause what is my saying, y'all? They are mayo on chicken. Okay,
I
no
ain't lying.
Yeah.
seasoning.
Mayo chicken.
Just
Tastes like
playing.
Well,
That's
well,
all.
I mean,
That's all they need.
Well, I mean, they did. I mean, they did season this date with, engaging with an animal, and there was another couple that engaged with some animals as well. But we'll get to that date when
Listening,
we get.
the horses had more seasoning than they did.
horse had a little attitude. Huh? Horse had a little attitude.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, I actually like, and I feel like we all agree. I really would like to see them go forward. You know what I'm saying? And see what that would look like for them, because I feel like he's looking for her. I guess is to me, I feel like he's looking at her like a trophy wife, and she's looking at him like, okay, he'll be my provider. You know what I mean? And I really feel like they would make that work because of what they're both looking for. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm,
they wanted amazing conversation, you know what I mean, and amazing communication, they wouldn't be with each other. But they know
true.
what they're there for and what that person is looking for. They fit the bill. I mean, they fit the bill for each other. And I really would like to see that work. He's 51, she's like 40 something, but she act like she's 63. So, it'll work.
Not 63.
Yeah, that'll
Well,
work.
listen. I mean, she may at 63, but can they do 69 together? Is the real question. You know what? Let me shut my mouth. I need to stop.
I don't really think they even care, really. They probably gonna be sleeping in
Listen,
different bedrooms.
they go listen. I was about to say 62. That's about it. About 62. Mm-mm.
Do we need our BDSM expert to come in and give a
to
BDSM
to them,
scale of where they are?
they,
No, not at all.
they probably thought they was having
Because
sex
I
on a
mean,
picnic.
I can for Christmas. Listen, if you want, I do have a Christmas plan. Never mind. We're not gonna do this.
Oh, so you jingling all the way and pull on that sleigh, huh? Riding on roofs and going down chimneys. All right, then that's what we're doing. All right. Hashtag Merry Christmas, everybody, on
Yeah,
Monday and
You
Christmas week
know,
to come.
stuffing stockings and stuff.
Uh huh.
hey,
Uh huh.
hey,
Uh huh.
hey, hey.
Eating cookies and drinking milk down your throat. You know what? Let's move on. I'm so sorry. Let me stop. I need to
Jingle
stop.
all the way. Huh?
Just let it quibble right there on the side of my lip. It's got a quibble on the side of the lip. Just quibble.
See, see,
Man,
I
somebody
can't.
said, I wonder if Sharice has frozen her eggs since she appeared. Look at the comment. I wonder if
I
Sharice
can see that. Like I could see that being the case. Like I think she probably has frozen them. She's waiting for the right one, and yeah, like
That could be a
it's
possibility.
time.
imagine, imagine her as a mom. Holy shoot.
Like how old is Sharice?
Sharice like 44.
Okay,
44.
yeah, she definitely had to freeze them things because if not, they about to turn to powder.
But I watched Sharice
Lord
live
have.
yesterday. I watched a little bit of her live because she was watching the show as well. So I watched a little bit, and on her left hand, it showed like a ring on it. I was surprised. I don't know if it's that much to look into, but she had a ring on the left hand, on her on
Hmm.
a ring finger on the left hand.
Okay.
Yeah, surprised me. And the crazy thing about it is when she was out there, she really showed a lot of her personality. Like, I mean, on her
She
live.
really, she, well, I didn't see the live, but I will say, I think this is the first time that we've seen emotion rather from Sharice.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? I think that was kind of a nice break in the system, in the matrix, if you will. And the fact that she does have a personality on live is also important. I think it's on top of that, we got to recognize, embrace, and understand that this is a time capsule and a moment in time. Because if you're on TV, you're trying to project and create the best image because you know that this is going to end up on TV. Now, that's not to say that you change who you are, but you do care about yourself to a very high degree. But it gets tricky where, all right, much love, brother. Love you as always. We'll talk soon. Um, but it gets tricky where how do you balance being real, but also trying to seem real to other people? It's a very delicate balance.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I feel like with them, like we can actually move on because they're, you know what I'm saying, not really too much to talk about. I see them ending up together. They could be together, like, really nothing. But yeah, here we go.
so moving on from those boring people, we're moving to another still boring couple. I just always put them at the ending because we can actually wrap up the two couples in 10 minutes. So Venetia picks Tabari again, obviously because she had no other choice. And actually, I think their date was one of the nicest because of the whole
Yeah.
road trip, the shoulder around New Orleans. I felt like this is something that every other date should have done, but for some reason, best known to them, they did not do it, or maybe they did not show it to us. And they went to a restaurant to eat. Now, as much as she's still enjoying his the relationship with him, she still has the whole, oh, he did not communicate to me, oh, I wish he talks to me. It's like an ongoing circle. I'm like, it's starting to feel like the whole Aries and this guy's stuff with the whole financial thing. I'm
Oh,
sorry
with
for
Phil,
it.
yeah.
Oh gosh. Because you're telling me he's changing, he's making adjustments, but then in the ladies' lounge, you are saying just a smidges of like adjustments. I'm like, okay, so which one? To his face, you're telling him he's making adjustments. At his back, you're saying he's just making tiny adjustments. You're not helping his case.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, at some point in time, do you really love him for him? Because even you had a fun day and he's trying to keep the fun energy going, and when the french fries came out and ketchup was brought up, she said, well, this relationship is not funny to me. Girl, he is talking about condiment. Really? And I love you, Venetia, and you can get it from Brightland, okay? Listen. But like it was a condiment. And she goes back and forth to your articulate point, Solana, of she wants communication. She wants him to be more serious. She doesn't know how long distance will work. Well, if you don't care, why are you in it? And it's like at some point in time, you either going to have to accept that this brother, who you say, and I quote, is a good man, has good energy, and is providing that to you, or you are going to keep your rose-colored glasses on to see his flaws. And I hate to do this, but you also too do realize that you have flaws as well. But he still is there because he wants to be there. And it boggles my damn mind when women say, well, you know what? We don't have to get to know each other. Can I let y'all know something? Just come close. Come close to nephew. Come close to nephew. The men don't have to get to know you either. Shocking concept. Same thing with the
Well,
men.
how are
Men,
y'all
husband,
supposed to? So, really, what are y'all building on if ain't nobody getting to know each other? See, that's right there. That's where you
that
got a
part.
conflict of interest. Because, see, in order for you to actually build on something strong, you need to know the ins and out of a person. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if some shit happens tomorrow, I need to know that you got me the next day after. Because you never know what's going to happen. If my legs don't work, I need you to walk for me. If I can't see, I
That
need you
part.
to guide you. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that goes into it. It's more than just physical, it's more than just mental and emotional. It's a cluster of everything. And if
Yeah.
you have nothing to where you're steady having these small problems can make big holes. And
Yeah.
once them
That
holes
part.
get too big, you fall in. It's so easy to fall into a hole. So what are you doing right now? I understand that, if we're trying to date, but listen, at at the age that we are, there's just certain things that you can't sacrifice. And your time and
Yep.
peace is one of them because time, you're never going to get back. You can't get your time back.
Right.
Okay. So the more that you're steady chasing a facade or you're chasing this want of and needing of being with someone because you have been alone for so long, you start to I feel like she's grasping. Okay, so that's what it is. It's like she's been alone for so long. She's, getting older. Of course, she wants something to hold on to. She wants something tangible, something real. But
Correct.
yet she's steady choosing to borrow it because right now it is a convenience.
Hmm.
This is already we didn't talked about this. The rest of them, it's all because it's too late now to turn around and say no. It's too late to say, you know, no, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to move, or I'm not ready, you know what I'm saying? Or find another guy to at least entertain and get to know. It's too late for that part. It's never too late to say yes or no if you want to be with someone, but it's too late to get to know anyone else on the show. You know what I'm saying? So right now, it's a hold, it's a grab. You got to stay with who you know and who you're with because right now that time has run out, that time that you'll never get back, the time that you're sacrificing and he's sacrificing as well,
No, I
it's
absolutely.
up.
No, I absolutely agree with that. Humble Meek, thank you for putting it up. Solana says, Humble Meek says she's probably just not. She isn't that sexually attracted to him. Well, I will say this. I think that sexual attraction is in the eye of the beholder. Like I was saying, how women say that, you don't have to get to know me. Well, guess what? Men can also say the same thing. And sometimes men also get arrogant of that woman doesn't have to know you. But here's where I'm going with this. Follow me here. At the beginning, middle, end of the day, if I'm not being respected, if I'm not being appreciated, and if I'm not being in, I'm not feeling like there's an elevation with you for construction of positivity, I feel like there's destruction of negativity. Do you think I'm gonna be sexually attracted to you? We gotta recognize that it's on both sides here, and sometimes, like for example, remember how Sharice said that she was thinking about Maurice. I'm not gonna, and Maurice is not about come on the pound, so everybody calm down. But follow me here. What if that was not an option that somebody could come back in? And if Vernisha were to send him away and we get to the reunion, and then when she has enough time, space, and grace for her to work on herself, sits down and says to Tamika Ray and Tamika Lee, hey, you know what? I was scared. I was afraid. And to be honest with you, I don't know how to receive good because I've always given good to others, but I never thought that good could be for myself. And so because of that, I put my walls up. Sometimes we don't get a second chance to receive a blessing that we deserve. Real talk. So
Facts and so true. But still, I mean, there's no need to settle. There's no need to feel pressured. And I mean, if a person's not giving you all of what you feel you deserve, you really do have the choice to either sacrifice that and say, okay, well, even though I'm not getting as much as I want, I'm still getting something. You can be that person. Or you can say, no, I want what I deserve and I want all of it. You can be that person. I mean, but still, it's when your choice and you know, your will of choice is taken away. Your opportunity to have the choice is just taken. When it just seems like your back's against the wall and you are pressured, that's when it becomes a problem. But in this case, I just feel like it's not even that she's not sexually attracted to him. It could be that that's what she is and that's it. She only feels a sexual attraction, but she's trying to hold herself together because there's nothing else that's really attracting her to him. Who knows? But I don't see them as a couple. I'm not saying that they couldn't work out, but I don't see it being something that could be a forever thing.
mm.
Hmm.
I'm with you on that, Gigi. I think the only way that it could be a forever thing if she gets out of her own way, because I think that in relationships we only do what we know because the manual has worked as well as it has to get us to this point. So to have a new manual or to have a new update is difficult when you only know how you work you. So I do think that if she got out of her own way, I think she could be happy. Because, I mean, when men are releasing their emotions to a woman, that's a compliment to that woman. Because I feel like Tabari has probably been a dude that he goes to work, he comes home, he has his peace, but he also wants to be able to give that peaceful energy to somebody. He just never found it. And so he's trying to balance out being a man in her eyes, but also making sure that his comfort is mattering to him as well. It's a very tricky line. Very tricky line.
Yeah, and it's very understandable. But when you're in a relationship, even what you've known from the past, does that mean that it's right to bring it into what you have that's new?
That
No.
part.
Sometimes you do have to make changes. And honestly, a lot of people, before you even get into the relationship, there's some work that needs to be done on self before you can actually say that you are ready to love or you are ready for someone else to love you. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. So now we have two people in a relationship that are bringing in what they had from the past, and their walls are up. So neither one of them can see each other because they're hiding behind walls. They're still trying to play this game. They're still having their representative come out instead of them. They're a whole person. And next, you know, you're missing out, like you said, on the blessings. You're
Yep.
missing out because now, you know, you're this way. You're so egos. You know, you can call it an ego. You can call it to where a person is just, they stand strong in what they say and how they are, what they believe. There's nothing else that you can say to get through to them, and it's their way or no way. That
Hmm.
happens a lot. And that's that part where you say you got to get out of your own way. So I
Yep.
feel like she does need to get out of her way, but I also feel like if she's feeling like there's something that's not right or something that she's not feeling about him, that doesn't mean that she needs to settle and go ahead and accept it just because she's in
Hmm.
her own way. You know what I'm saying? Open the
Yeah.
door. You can peek your head out, see how the weather is. And if you see that it's raining, go back in the house.
True.
So I'm just going to read some comments, then we're going to wrap it up. Black Girl Aesthetic said they have good chemistry. I think they have good chemistry, but it's still giving like friendship vibes. Solution Black Barbie Soul Edition said Tabari is Venetia's vegetable. She thinks he may be good for her, but has a personality manual for him. Yeah, and I think that also goes with this comment here on the screen that said he's making too many significant changes that he isn't comfortable with yet. I wish he is able to change slowly of his own volition. I think I'm of the opinion that you should not make somebody change. The person has to want to change, or the person has to change voluntarily out of them seeing that their actions are not making you comfortable. Because most times, if you notice, he keeps saying, I'm trying to change, I'm for you, trying to do things for you. And she has to correct him that for us. And that's probably because she has made him think he has to be a certain way for her. And that comes with a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. And both will have to like come together and renegotiate this relationship, because totally it is totally skewed towards Venetia. It's a good thing if you like the man without issues, but now she has issues with him. But yeah, I think we've covered the entire episode.
I
Next
will.
week,
I will say this very quickly. The fact that Tabari is trying harder than Ashley ziplining over animals. I think that says a lot about the strength of this episode.
What I say
Um,
earlier, we traded fishing poles and fish for zip lines and gators.
there it is. There it is. So just good damn. Just good damn. Just oh Lord.
but yeah, I can't wait for next week episode. It's going to be
Woo.
drama.
And you
It's
know
going
what?
to be
It
drama.
seemed and you know what? It seems like the ladies are on Zadia's side because even Ashley says that you need to take a breather. And can I say the word combative energy comes from Sharice. Um, we got a lot to get ready
Yeah,
for next week.
definitely cannot wait for, I mean, the reunion and then season nine, or yeah, it's season nine, right?
Yeah, season
Yeah.
9.
The new season? Yeah,
Yes.
listen, when I say the juice, the tea, the drama, oh, it's coming. I'm ready. I feel like it's going to be a stir of a lot of stirring going on.
Oh yeah, that woman in the
Going to be a
purple
lot of
dress.
ish getting kicked up in people's faces.
Yeah, that woman in the purple dress coming down the bridge, she could get it from me. I'm like, you cannot come down the bridge shaking the
You know
bridge when
what?
the bridge is
No.
shaking. I can't. I can't do
It,
Nah, nah.
it.
so listen, I think that's about does it, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
have.
listen,
I
happy
can't wait.
holidays to everyone. Huh?
Yes.
No, I was just saying I can't wait. Merry
Yeah,
Christmas, everybody.
definitely. Yep. Happy holidays to you and
Yes,
yours.
indeed.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, push
Yes.
notification bell with Talk with Solana, Braylon Lee, and the Queen's
Yes,
team. Make sure you
indeed.
subscribe to our channels, and we will see y'all here next time. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely. Much love,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.